Hi guys, in today's video we're going to be making these earrings. They are wire wrapped and include the blue lapis from Victory Gems and Beads. As many of you know, if you followed me, if you have been subscribed to my channel, Victory Gems and Beads sent me a box of gems, and I do have the unboxing video that I will put up here in the corner. So if you guys want to watch that, it's a variety of beautiful gems, because Victory Gems and Beads has a gorgeous variety of gems and beads as far as like natural stones, lapis, labradorite, turquoise, all sorts of beautiful stones. And I'll be linking the beads that we're using today, and you can go and find them on their website. So without further ado, let's get into this tutorial. We're going to start with listing off the items that we're going to be using, and that will be 14 of these lapis little rounds that came in, like I said, in the box that was sent to me. And then we're going to be using 13 of the hematite stones that also was in the box, and this is what they look like. They're gorgeous hematite stones, and I have here different colors. There's bronze, gold, and rose gold, and I will also link those in the description box below. I am an ambassador for Victory Gems and Beads, so they gave me a discount code. So if you go and order any of these beads at their website, you can use my discount code that will be in the description box below, so that you can save yourself a little bit of money, and at the same time you're supporting my channel. So thank you so much if you do use that. And then you're going to need 3 of these 6mm jump rings. And then for wires, so you're going to need 18, 24, and 20 gauge wire in whatever color you prefer. I went with silver. Now moving on to tools, you are going to need a couple of pairs of flat nose pliers, some nylon jaw pliers to straighten your wire, a 6-step loop plier, and of course some cutters and a tape measure or a ruler. So those are the tools that we are going to be using. So first we're going to take our 18 gauge wire and we're going to cut 10 centimeters. And this is why I like to use my nylon jaw pliers, because you can straighten it out just like that. Okay, so now we're going to measure 10 centimeters. I left a little bit extra so that I could even out this side here, make it nice and flat. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm very sorry, we are going to be using I'm going to be using my mandrel kit. You can use anything that you have similar. Sorry, it's got dog hair. My dog sheds. I swear I vacuum every day and I still find hair. So the mandrels come like this. They're these wood mandrels, and they are so handy if you like to wire work. They really come in handy. So what I'm going to be using is this one right here, the 5/8, and then the 7/8 of an inch. So I'm going to set this to the side, and you'll see why I'm using 2 in just a minute. So I'm going to take my smallest, take the end right there, and you can't feel it on this side, and just do a loop with the first side. Make sure it's closed, just like that. And then the other side, we're going to do the exact same thing. So now that we have our 2 loops done on each end, just like that, we're going to take first our 5/8 of an inch mandrel, like hold it like that with your thumb, and then just go around. You want the little loops to be facing out, so and make sure that they touch on this side like that. Then set that one aside, and this is when you're going to bring in this larger one to just kind of finish off that shape, make it nice and round. I just feel that if you start with a smaller one, then it's easier to give it a nice round shape. See how it turned out nice and round like a teardrop. And then just, you could fix these. All right, so we're gonna set that aside for now. Then we're gonna bring in our 20 gauge wire. So again, I'm just gonna cut off the ends. And what you're gonna do is we're going to be using this, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th size, we're gonna be using that to make some loops. So again, you're gonna leave, I wanna say a little bit, like 1/4 of an inch, and go around. And you're gonna go behind. So again, you're gonna grab. You're not gonna go all the way to the edge of the other loop. Just give yourself a little bit of space so that you have room for your other loop. And then again, go behind. If you start going in front or behind, you have to continue. And if they get a little bit wonky, all you have to do is press them in with your pliers. And then we do it again. And just make sure you're going all the way around to where you're making a straight line like that. Okay, so I'm going to go and do 14 of these circles because we're going to be putting one of these lapis per circle. So I'm going to be making 14 of these circles, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am done with the little circles. So now what I'm doing is just bending it around like this. And I'm going to put it, we're going to wire wrap it onto here, and see how these circles fit just perfectly on here. I left a little bit of a lip just to be able to hold on to something, but we will cut those at the end. So now what we're going to do is start on this end, and I'll just show you quickly just how I get it started. So I'm going to take, I cut, this is about 20 inches. It is 50 centimeters of the 24 gauge wire. So again, I'm going to leave a little bit of a lip. You have a bunch of things to hold on to. So we're going to bring this through here. I hope this is enough. I think I cut more for the other, but I think I had some left over, so this should be enough wire. All right, just make sure you're getting it nice and straight so it doesn't kink, just like that. So we have the first, we're just gonna go through the center of this, which makes it a little bit easier not to have to wire, try to bring the wire all the way through. Just go through your earring, through that little U frame. And again, and at first it's just going to take a little bit of patience to make sure that you're holding it in place. But after you do like a couple, it'll just be easier to handle. Just to get it started is where it gets a little trickier. So you can do, I'm just going to put this one in the front because I'm going to count it as a wrap. And then again, bring it through the original frame, the first frame we made, and then bring it back through here. Like so. And then you're going to want to make sure that you're using, this is where your nylon jaw pliers come in handy, that you're making sure that it is all nice and even and flat, and then bring it through again like that. And then you're going to put it between the first and second circle once or twice. And again, see, right through there. And okay, so we're going to continue to do that all around until we've completely, you know, covered our entire frame, original frame. So I'm going to go do that, and I will be right back for our next step. All right, so I wrapped all around the original frame. So now it's nice and tight on there. I cut the 20 inches was just enough. It was perfect. I didn't get to waste any wire. But if you want to, if you feel like you need a little more purchase, because I was literally using my pliers at the end to close it. If you feel that you need a little bit more, I would go with maybe 21. But you will have some extra wire, just a heads up. All right, now we're going to add our beads. This time I did 24 inches, which is about 60 centimeters of this 24 gauge wire. So what we're going to do first is, as always, we're going to anchor our wire first. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a lip. I'm going to do about 3 wraps around the first little loop, around the first loop on here. So let's hold it there and bring it through. Like so. And again, you want to make sure you're not kinking your wire. I love this wire. Totally recommend design wire. The wire is really good and really good for wire wrapping. It doesn't tarnish and it doesn't peel off. You know, the silver coating or gold coating doesn't peel off easily. You really have to use a lot of force to do that. So it really holds up well. So now I've anchored it on with 2 wraps, and I'm going to add 1 bead. We're going to bring it down and set it right inside the first round. And then what I did was I made sure to first flatten it before you try to wrap it around. So flatten it like that. And then bring it through the bottom of that loop. Like that. Make sure that you go between these 2 circles, the first and the second round circles, just like that, and pull nice and tight, and you'll see that you have your bead on there nice and secure. Grab the other one like that, and then again, first make that bend down between the next 2 loops like that, and then bring it back up underneath and then bring your wire through. And you can even help it along, because this is it's 24 gauge wire, but also it's still quite a thick wire, but at the same time it's nice and malleable to work with, not as hard as the 22 gauge. So then I'm going to show you one more time. Again, we're going to bring this down and set it on the round. Bring this down here and keep and make sure you're pulling nice and tight. And we're going to be adding if you need help straightening out your wire, you can always help yourself with your pliers. I know I don't always have, I've gotten stronger now that I work with wire, but sometimes I still need some help from my pliers just to make it nice and straight. And I'm gonna keep putting these beads on here until I reach the other side. All right, so I have the last one wired on. So now we're gonna go backwards. We have plenty of wire left. I don't think I need to cut some more right now. And what I'm gonna do is bring this wire back up to do another wrap, just to secure this last bead on, just like the first one, just like that. Now we're just gonna go backwards, and here's where our little sparkly hematite beads come into play. We're gonna start to add them right in the middle of the first, starting the first two. Now we're going back, so we're gonna go and put this wire down here. That's how we're gonna secure these little silver beads, hematite beads on here. So just kind of wiggle that in there. Push it through. You don't want to bend your wire too much, because this one will work harden pretty fast. And then here's where you can take your pliers and pull that. So now we have our first little sparkly bead in there. And then I'm going to grab another one and add it to the center of the next two. And again, I'm going to go from top to bottom. Sometimes I do have bigger spaces depending on the size of the bead, because they're not all the same size. They vary because of their natural stones. See? And we're going to add these little sparkle hematite beads all the way around. All right, so now that I've added all the little sparkling hematites, look at how pretty that adds just that perfect little bit of sparkle. And so the 60 centimeters was perfect enough wire to go to add the blue beads, the lapis, and the hematite, and we still have a little bit left that I will use for something else. So I'm gonna go through the last bead twice, and now we can start to cut off ends. So what I like to do is twist it like that, and then going to twist this end here. All right, so now that we cut off all the ends, straighten the ends out, now what we can do, since we're here, we have them ready to go, we can use our jump rings and open them up. Here, and then the last one, we're going to join the two original jump rings, and then okay, so now you have a few options here. So you can either buy the ready-made studs at any bead store, or you can use a hook, ear wire hooks, if you want to go that route, or you can make your own studs like I made here. I have a bunch of the little rubber stoppers that I need to add one here. So if you want to see how to make this, keep watching. We're going to take our 18 gauge wire, and I always like to teach how to make the finishes so that you can either save money, or if you're in a pinch and you need to finish your piece of jewelry, you don't have to depend on having something, you can make your own. And also it makes it perfectly completely handmade, which I find really cool too. All right, so we're gonna cut the end here and then bend, oh, I wanna say about 1/2 inch. I'm gonna bend it like an L, just like that. And I'm not going to take it off because I never know how much I need to use, but I am gonna straighten a little bit out because otherwise it gets in the way, like that. So now what you're going to do is take the end, the tip of your flat nose plier, put this to the side, your flat nose plier, you're gonna take that corner, you're gonna start to make the spiral. So now make sure because it's 18 gauge, it's a tougher wire, so make sure you have a good hand on it. If you're worried about marring the wire, then you can use a pliers that have tool magic on them, that also. But usually what I like to do is just get it started and then I switch over to my nylon jaw pliers. Keep spinning the edge around so you get a little bit better purchase on the wire. See, and if you hold it, if you get a good grip on it, you just push the wire, then you won't have a bunch of, like tearing at the wire. Or you can, I think at this point we can use our nylon jaw pliers to hold it. Yep. Once it gets a little bit larger, then you can use your nylon jaw pliers and definitely avoid any damage to the wire. And we're just going to keep going around. Make a nice tight spiral. Like I said, because this is 18 gauge wire, it's a lot harder to manipulate. But what I like is that it'll hold its shape with this type of earring. That is it's not heavy, but it definitely needs a stronger stud to hold it in place. And then I think this is as large as this one. Yep. You can even put them top to bottom. Yep, that is the same size. So now what I'm going to do is take and cut about there. And this, now you're going to grab your stud with your nylon jaw pliers, just like that, to make sure that it stays in shape. And you're going to grab the tip of your pliers and make a straight line down. See, just like that. A 90-degree bend. And now I am going to cut it, half. I just like to cut extra so I have a good hand on it because it's such a thick wire to work with. So I'm going to cut half of this, about there. So to give you an exact measurement, it is 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is what I leave. Now we can grab our round nose, or the smallest one, and again make sure you don't feel it here, and twist it, because we're going to make like a simple loop. And you can curl it a little bit into the, there we go. Make sure that I keep this underneath. There. So see, now we have our little, and our little, what you call it? We've got our little simple loop right there. And then usually for an earring stud, you can either, where is it? You can use the measurement of your nylon jaw pliers, or usually what the measurement is for an earring stud is a little bit over 1 centimeter. So all we do is, we can open this like, open the ring like that, and put our, make sure it's facing forward, and close. All right, you guys, so here are our finished earrings. What do you guys think? Do you like them? They're not too heavy, and I think with the spiral stud, they look really pretty. I don't know, I think they look a little more, I want to say artistic than with just a simple hook ear wire. So, but let me know what you guys think. What would you prefer to use as the, you know, the ear part? Would you use a ear hook? Would you buy it made already, or would you make your own? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. And like I mentioned at the beginning, if you want to purchase any of these stones that I mentioned here, or look at the other beautiful beads that they have in stock, they're consistently adding more, changing, and they have different shapes. I really recommend that you visit Victory Gems and Beads to check out all the items that they have available. All their stones are hand cut in India, so definitely beautiful quality. And if you're new to my channel, if you want to see more tutorials like this or some unboxings, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and the bell that's right next to it, so you get notified every time I upload a new tutorial, a new unboxing, or both. If you watched until now, thank you so much for your support. Welcome to all our new subscribers. We're getting close to those 1,000. I'm excited to put together a box of goodies to thank you for subscribing and supporting my channel. I'm looking forward to that. We're getting close. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and stay safe. Bye.